Ignore this message for just 5 minutes, and you might as well book your ambulance ride now, because what you're about to hear could save you from a horrifying rush to the emergency room, a terrifying stroke in the middle of dinner, or even a heart-stopping tragedy. Imagine casually snacking on what you assume were harmless, healthy nuts, completely unaware that each handful might be quietly steering you toward disaster. While the world blindly praises nuts for their magical effects on the heart, blood sugar in your waistline hidden among them lurk ruthless culprits capable of silently wrecking your cholesterol, igniting chronic inflammation, and triggering metabolic chaos. Yes, it's true, certain seemingly innocent nuts can drastically amplify your risk of catastrophic cardiovascular episodes. Maybe you've been mindlessly crunching, convinced all nuts are equal allies in your quest for health. But what if those very bites are pushing you towards a perilous precipice? High blood pressure, hidden allergies, mold toxins, uncontrollable weight gain. These aren't just risks, they're ticking. Time bombs waiting for the right moment to explode, shattering your well-being in ways you never anticipated. Think we're exaggerating. That's exactly the chilling truth we're confronting today. Within minutes, we'll unveil exactly which nuts belong safely in your diet and expose those deceitful ones that could secretly sabotage your longevity. Even more alarmingly, we're about to uncover a sinister connection between your thyroid, your brain's delicate defenses, and your everyday snacking habits. But don't panic. This isn't just a warning. We've prepared a detailed survival guide complete with actionable checklists and urgent challenges you must tackle immediately before your snack choices spiral into irreversible damage. Transition clinical story. I remember a patient, let's call him Robert, a 59-year-old former insurance agent who visited my clinic some years ago. He was a hardy man with a modestly active lifestyle. He enjoyed weekend hikes and took pride in preparing healthy meals. Aware that many health experts recommend nuts as a form of beneficial snacking, Robert began incorporating them daily, yet with no guidance on which to choose or how many. He relied heavily on a single type peanuts in the form of peanut butter and salted roasted peanuts for quick munching throughout the day. Robert originally believed he was making a safe choice, but soon he started experiencing severe digestive issues, unexpected spikes in weight, and a creeping fatigue that no amount of coffee could dispel. His doctor identified borderline hypertension and early signs of insulin resistance, hinting that Robert's once stable cardiovascular profile was leaning into the danger zone. Blood tests also revealed elevated liver enzymes, so the question became, what was triggering these subtle shifts in his well-being? After a thorough review of his diet, we zeroed in on peanuts. These legumes, commonly mistaken as nuts, had possibly exposed him to hidden mold toxins and frequent salt binges. That same day, Robert stood in shock, holding his test results, and hearing that his snack habit might be the Trojan horse, letting high blood pressure and metabolic imbalances slip past his defenses. This revelation set him on a new path of carefully chosen alternatives. It is precisely these lessons that underscore how critical it is to distinguish beneficial varieties from those that could be a ticking time bomb. Science, detailed explanations and facts. The power of optimal nut choices. Not all nuts are created equal. Some deliver crucial vitamins, minerals, and healthy fats that your body desperately needs to stay resilient, while others come packed with sneaky pitfalls. Nuts generally provide protein, fiber, and antioxidants, three components vital for controlling inflammation, supporting heart function, and maintaining stable energy levels. But once you zero in on the microscopic differences between varieties, you'll uncover a world of distinction. Some are especially rich in monounsaturated fats that stabilize cholesterol, while others harbor alarming levels of mold-based toxins. Research by the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health, 2017, Journal of Nutrition study indicates that certain tree nuts, such as almonds and walnuts, can significantly reduce bad LDL cholesterol when consumed in moderation. This same data highlights that individuals who regularly eat these varieties often experience reduced cardiovascular incidence over time. The science is straightforward. By choosing nuts loaded with the right types of fats, you can bring down inflammation that exacerbates artery damage. The best nuts also come with essential minerals that fortify everything from nerve function to bone strength. However, the story doesn't stop with lipids and minerals. Just because something is labeled nut doesn't mean it's all good news. Some are extremely calorie-dense, loaded with sodium, or tainted by industrial processing. The result, a potential surge in blood pressure or extra pounds sneaking onto the scale. Even more startling, a few common choices are notorious for fostering toxic mold growth that can wreak havoc on your liver over time. Let's dive deeper, separate the genuine heroes from the stealthy saboteurs, and reveal how each interacts with your body, particularly if you're edging into your 50s or 60s and beyond. Almonds, king of the heart-friendly fats. Almonds are among the top picks in the realm of nutrient-packed foods. Their mild flavor makes them easy to integrate into both sweet and savory dishes. Think almond butter on whole grain toast or slivered almonds in a robust salad. The hallmark benefit, a remarkable composition of monounsaturated fats, which many experts have linked to better cardiovascular outcomes. These particular fats can lower harmful LDL levels, the bad cholesterol that forms plaque in arteries, while simultaneously helping the protective HDL levels that carry cholesterol away from your arterial walls. In addition to their beneficial fat profile, almonds offer magnesium, a mineral crucial for regulating blood pressure and supporting muscle contractions, including the heartbeat. Even a minor deficiency in magnesium, common among individuals who rely heavily on processed foods, can manifest as stubborn hypertension, cramps, or irregular heart rhythms. By making almonds a consistent yet moderate part of your diet, you fortify these internal systems and possibly keep your blood pressure under tighter control. Almonds don't stop with heart health. They also supply vitamin E, an antioxidant widely credited with protecting cells from oxidative damage that accelerates the aging process. This is particularly relevant for older adults who want to maintain youthful-looking skin and healthy immune function. But don't let all these benefits blind you to potential pitfalls. Almonds are calorie-dense, about 160 to 170 calories per ounce, so it's best to keep an eye on portion sizes. Overindulging could sabotage your weight goals, and you'll want to skip the sweetened or heavily salted varieties if you're trying to minimize added sugar or sodium. Walnuts, guardian of cognitive function. When you split open a walnut, it reveals a shape that closely resembles the human brain, and that's no coincidence if you trust centuries of folklore. Modern research demonstrates that walnuts are among the most potent foods for maintaining brain health. Their star feature is alpha-linolenic acid, a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid known to battle chronic inflammation. In the brain, persistent inflammation is one of the major contributors to cognitive decline, memory lapses, and over long periods, conditions like dementia. Studies conducted by the World Health Organization, WHO 2020 Global Dietary Guidelines, emphasize the crucial role of omega-3s, especially for older populations. Consuming walnuts regularly might bolster neural pathways essential for memory and processing speed. Additionally, these nuts are loaded with polyphenols, compounds that function as antioxidants to guard against the harmful free radicals that can damage delicate brain cells. From a metabolic perspective, walnuts may also support better glucose control. When included as part of a balanced diet, they can help regulate insulin responses, which can prove invaluable if you're grappling with prediabetes or trying to prevent full-blown type 2 diabetes. Although their taste might initially come across as slightly bitter due to natural tannins, there are easy ways around that. Lightly roasting or soaking them can soften the bitterness and highlight their buttery undertones. Remember, walnuts are calorie-dense, close to 180-190 calories per ounce, so measure out a small portion instead of tossing back handful after handful. Action plan checklists, follow-up meal targets, etc. The 7-day nut makeover. To transform these insights into practical changes, you'll need a plan that ensures you're maximizing the positives and steering clear of dangers. Below is a 7-day checklist designed to help you integrate the most beneficial nuts: almonds, walnuts, pistachios, and Brazil nuts, while curbing or eliminating the risky ones. Think of it as your blueprint for a safer, more nutrient-dense approach to snacking. 1. Set portion limits. Each day, measure out small servings, about 1 ounce of the good nuts. Store them in separate containers for convenience. 2. Alternate types. Rotate between almonds on day 1, walnuts on day 2, and pistachios on day 3 to prevent taste fatigue. Repeat as needed, but vary the sequence. 3. Brazil nut boost. On day 4, incorporate just 1 or 2 Brazil nuts, focusing on the thyroid-supportive mineral selenium. Remember that moderation is vital to avoid excessive selenium intake. 4. Snack mindfully. Pair your nuts with a source of protein or fiber like vegetables or low-sugar Greek yogurt if you still feel hungry. 5. Avoid problem nuts. Resist the urge to graze on macadamia, nuts, peanuts, pine nuts, or chestnuts during this week. If they appear in your pantry, place them out of easy reach. 6. Midweek check-in. On day 4, monitor your energy levels, mental focus, and any changes in digestive comfort. Record them in a food journal. In-weekend reflection by day. 7. Note if your snack cravings have changed. Are you reaching less for salty processed foods and more for nutrient-rich choices? With this structured approach, you'll be better equipped to identify how each nut affects your body energy and overall well-being. Don't forget if you have any underlying health conditions or concerns about specific types of nuts. Consult your physician for guidance tailored to your medical history. So I don't know. Call to comment. Before we continue, let's spark a conversation if you've ever had a strange symptom or nagging worry about your diet, particularly about whether your healthy nuts might be fueling something sinister. This is your moment to speak up. A single oversight, like mindlessly choosing peanuts or ignoring your thyroid's need for selenium, could seem innocent at first, but deliver real-world harm later. By sharing experiences, we can crowdsource critical health insights. Sharp Sao Chep. Have you ever noticed this sign? Comment, "I feel it," if you relate, "I'm safe" if not, and add a question for the doctor. Your participation might alert someone else to a hidden danger or give them reassurance that they're on the right track. In an age where misinformation is rampant, direct discussions about real symptoms can bridge the gap between confusion and clarity. When it comes to your cardiovascular health, metabolic stability, or even your mental acuity, no question is too small. Let's set the stage for an open dialogue so that each of us can make better informed decisions about what goes into our bodies. Asudun, the Missing Spark 24-Hour Nut Challenge. Often health advice lacks a lightning bolt of urgency, something to jolt us into immediate action rather than endless procrastination. Here's your missing spark, a 24-hour nut challenge aimed at bringing the truths we've discussed to life right now. Starting tomorrow morning, commit to removing all questionable nuts, macadamia, peanuts, pine nuts, and chestnuts from your home, or at least from your reach. Replace them with a moderate supply of almonds, walnuts, pistachios, or Brazil nuts. Over the next day, track every single bite that goes into your mouth. If you're accustomed to grabbing peanut butter or salted peanuts in the afternoon break, that habit for a full 24 hours, instead measure out 1 ounce of almonds and see how your body responds. Are you still hungry? Has your concentration changed? Do you feel any difference in your stomach's comfort level? This single day of conscious pivoting will illuminate how mindless snacking might have been influencing your energy levels, sodium intake, or even cravings. Use an actual pen and paper journal or a food tracking app. It's crucial to identify the times of day you usually slip into autopilot. By harnessing the results of this 24-hour experiment, you'll have tangible proof of just how quickly small shifts can impact your overall well-being. If after this mini challenge you notice less bloating, steadier energy, or simpler portion control, you'll be motivated to keep the better nuts on hand and permanently reduce or eliminate the troublemakers. Case studies, anonymized examples. Case study number 1, Sandra, 65, retired teacher. Sandra, a retired elementary school teacher, prided herself on a balanced diet. She regularly prepared homemade soups, avoided fast food, and walked at least 30 minutes a day. But she had a blind spot, her decades-long fondness for honey-roasted peanuts. Each evening, she poured herself a generous bowl while watching her favorite TV programs. Over time, Sandra noticed her waistline expanding and her stamina dropping. A routine blood test showed borderline high cholesterol and elevated triglycerides. Her physician gently asked about her diet, and Sandra admitted she thought peanuts were healthy. The doctor explained that peanuts, though technically legumes tend to be high in calories, often contain added sugars or salt, and can carry mold toxins if poorly stored. Even more surprising for Sandra was discovering that honey-roasted varieties essentially turned her snack into a dessert, spiking her blood sugar and fueling inflammation. Determined to turn things around, Sandra substituted almonds and walnuts for her evening treat. Within 6 weeks, she found her cravings had diminished. She no longer felt as sluggish, and her subsequent lab results showed an improvement in both her cholesterol profile and her energy levels. This eye-opener confirmed what so many of us overlook: even a single healthy snack can morph into an obstacle if we choose the wrong type or forget about portion control. Sandra's story underscores the need for vigilance in older adults who often face creeping metabolic shifts that intensify the negative impacts of questionable foods. Case study. Coordinator Tut. Marcus, 48, software engineer. Marcus, a software engineer in his late 40s, worked from home and frequently found himself rummaging in the kitchen for quick bites. Hoping to avoid junk food, he discovered macadamia nuts, enthralled by their buttery texture. Soon it became routine to devour half a bag while debugging code, an unconscious habit that added up to hundreds of extra calories daily. It didn't take long for Marcus to pack on 10 extra pounds, especially around his midsection. Worse yet, a medical checkup revealed that his LDL cholesterol had climbed significantly. His doctor advised him to reevaluate his snack of choice. Upon investigating the numbers, Marcus saw how shockingly high in fat and calories macadamia nuts are. 1 ounce can exceed 200 calories. While the fats are mainly monounsaturated, consistent overconsumption can still lead to an overall caloric surplus and weight gain, which contributes to heart concerns over time. In response, Marcus switched to a calculated combination of pistachios and walnuts, both lower in calories in moderate portions and more nutritionally balanced. He also made sure to measure his servings so he didn't slip back into mindless munching. After 3 months, Marcus lost nearly 8 of the pounds he had gained, and his lipid profile improved. His story highlights the hidden dangers of health foods that can lure us into eating more than we need, particularly if we're glued to a desk and unwittingly piling on daily caloric overload. 4 good nuts in detail. 1. Almonds, more than just healthy fats. As discussed, almonds shine brightly in the nut universe for their heart protective qualities. However, their virtues go beyond lipid management. According to Dr. Michael Greger, 2021 video series on nutrition, almonds also provide support for muscle and nerve function due to their magnesium content. Dr. Greger's summaries of scientific studies emphasize that individuals who incorporate this nut into their meals may also experience improved blood sugar stability, a key factor in preventing metabolic syndrome. In many ways, almonds are an easy gateway nut. They're widely available, relatively affordable compared to more exotic choices, and can be integrated into countless recipes, from crunchy coatings on baked chicken to a creamy base for smoothies. For the best results, opt for raw or dry roasted versions without excessive salt or sweeteners. That single tweak can help you steer clear of hidden sugars or chemicals. Still, caution is necessary because almonds are so calorie-dense. Keeping portions to about 1 ounce, roughly 23 individual nuts, is sensible. It's also smart to store them in airtight containers to preserve freshness and prevent rancidity. If you're the type to get bored, easily consider mixing a small batch of almonds with unsalted seeds like pumpkin or sunflower seeds for a varied crunch that still respects your calorie allotment. Remember, everything we're discussing depends on synergy. Eating almonds while ignoring an overall healthy diet, regular exercise, and medical checkups won't produce miracles. True health arises from a network of smart choices. 2. Walnuts, brain's best friend. It's worth emphasizing that walnuts, though often overshadowed by flashier products, have powerful influences on both the brain and metabolic well-being. Their concentration of omega-3 fatty acids, specifically alpha-linolenic acid, sets them apart. The body can convert this plant-based fat into other forms of omega-3 that reduce inflammation not only in the brain, but throughout the body. Lower inflammation correlates with smoother cognitive function and might even slow the progression of neurodegenerative problems. Researchers at the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health, 2019 American Journal of Clinical Nutrition meta-analysis, found that moderate walnut consumption is often linked with better memory scores in older adults. These findings suggest that we don't have to rely solely on fish sources for beneficial fats. A few walnut halves each day can tip the scales in favor of clearer thinking. Beyond the neurological benefits, walnuts' high content of antioxidants, such as polyphenols, provides a robust shield against oxidative stress. This matters greatly if you're juggling chronic stress exposure to environmental pollutants or an imperfect diet. The antioxidants help neutralize free radicals, which left unchecked can damage cells and speed up aging, For variety, try adding chopped walnuts to oatmeal salads or yogurt parfaits. Just remember that portion control is still vital. An ounce of walnuts is about 14 halves, and exceeding that consistently could lead to unwanted weight gain. 3. Pistachios. The weight management ally. Pistachios have a unique position in the nut family because they provide relatively fewer calories compared to many other nuts, coupled with a high satiety value. A typical serving size of pistachios, around 49 kernels, still hovers near 120-130 calories, which is less than the same measure of almonds or walnuts. Their trifecta of protein, fiber, and healthy fats can create a sense of fullness that helps you avoid overeating. A lesser-known advantage of pistachios is the presence of antioxidants like lutein and zeaxanthin, both vital for eye health. As screen time climbs and UV exposure accumulates, these compounds play a pivotal role in shielding the retina from harmful light. For those edging into retirement age or dealing with age-related vision issues, regularly including pistachios might offer a gentle protective effect. One tip that resonates with many buy pistachios in the shell. The process of shelling them slows you down, giving your brain more time to register fullness. Observing the growing pile of shells can also serve as a visual check on how much you've eaten. However, be wary of salted, flavored, or candy-coated varieties. Excess sodium counters the cardiovascular benefits, and sweet coatings can skyrocket sugar intake. Also, if you have a nut allergy or suspect, you might consult your physician before trying pistachios or any other new nut. Your goal is harnessing nutritional power, not courting an allergic reaction. 4. Brazil nuts. Thyroid and immune boost. Brazil nuts hold a special seat at the nutrition table, primarily due to their remarkable selenium content. Selenium acts as a cofactor for enzymes essential in thyroid hormone synthesis and conversion. Given the thyroid's influence on metabolism, energy, and mood, ensuring an adequate supply of selenium is non-negotiable. Even mild deficits in this mineral can lead to subtle but persistent drops in energy and metabolic efficiency. Yet Brazil nuts can be a double-edged sword because they contain such high levels of selenium. Going overboard raises the risk of selenium toxicity called selenosis, which can provoke hair loss, gastrointestinal issues, and neurological symptoms in extreme cases. The good news is you need only 1 or 2 Brazil nuts daily to meet your recommended dietary allowance for selenium, making them more like a potent supplement than a casual snack. Additionally, Brazil nuts deliver vitamin E and other antioxidants that support immune performance. Some observational studies also link selenium with improved immune cell responses, meaning your body may be better equipped to resist infections or recover from them more quickly. If you're not a fan of the nut's slightly waxy texture, consider chopping just 1 nut to sprinkle over a salad or blend it into a smoothie. This strategy distributes the flavor and nutrition without overwhelming your taste buds or your selenium intake. As always, if you have existing thyroid conditions, consult your physician to make sure Brazil nuts fit your regimen safely. 4 nuts to approach with caution. 1. Macadamia nuts calorie bomb. Macadamia nuts often top the chart for their luxurious, silky taste. In the culinary world, they pair elegantly with white chocolate or appear in upscale trail mixes, giving them a decadent appeal. However, that velvety texture masks a high-fat reality. An ounce of macadamias delivers more than 200 calories. And although the fats are mostly monounsaturated, generally considered heart-friendly, the concentration is so high that overindulging can easily tip you into calorie excess. For anyone watching their weight or dealing with cardiovascular risk factors, macadamias can be problematic. They are notoriously easy to overeat thanks to their melt-in-your-mouth consistency. More troubling commercial varieties often pile on sugar, salt, or even artificial flavors, turning a single handful into a nutritional minefield. If you have to indulge in macadamias, the key is strict portion control buying. Small prepackaged servings can help deter overeating. Alternatively, you can incorporate a few macadamia nuts into a healthy recipe, like blending them into a pesto for a special occasion, but don't treat them as daily staples. Watch out too, if you are on a restricted diet or have been trying to lower your LDL levels. That creamy flavor can tempt you into an extra handful, adding more saturated fats than you intended. The bottom line is simple: enjoy macadamias sparingly and be vigilant about measuring your servings, to avoid a hidden energy surplus that undermines your long-term goals. Peanuts allergy and mold alerts. Peanuts often feel like America's favorite nut found everywhere, from sports stadiums to lunchboxes. Technically, though, they're legumes belonging to the same family as beans and peas. For many, a jar of peanut butter sits on the kitchen counter, a quick solution for busy mornings or midday munchies. Yet peanuts come with multiple red flags. The biggest among them is the prevalence of severe peanut allergies, which can cause life-threatening anaphylactic reactions. Even if allergies aren't a concern for you personally, there's another risk to note: aflatoxins. These toxic substances emerge from mold that can grow on peanuts, particularly when they're stored in warm, humid conditions. Regulatory bodies do attempt to minimize contamination, but it's not always foolproof, especially for bulk or imported peanuts. Long-term exposure to aflatoxins can damage the liver and raise the risk of liver cancer. Finally, many peanut products are loaded with additives. Think hydrogenated oils in certain peanut butter brands or excessive sugar in honey-roasted varieties. These add-ons can shift peanuts from moderately healthy snack to troublesome indulgence. If you love the flavor of peanut butter, consider a brand that contains only peanuts, or at most peanuts and a touch of salt. Keep an eye on your total intake, because even pure peanut butter is calorie-dense. The best route: diversify your nut intake so you're not relying solely on peanuts. Even better, consult your physician if you suspect sensitivity or if you're concerned about potential mold exposures. 3. Pine nuts: pricey, perishable, and weird aftertastes. Pine nuts boast a delicate, buttery flavor that has made them a gourmet favorite in Mediterranean and Italian cooking. Whether whipped into pesto or sprinkled over fancy salads, their culinary appeal can't be denied. The catch is that pine nuts are among the most expensive nuts on the market, partly because harvesting them from pine cones is labor-intensive. If you choose to buy them, you might discover you've spent a small fortune on a small packet. Cost aside, pine nuts also go bad faster than sturdier nuts. Their high oil content leads to rancidity if they're kept in warm or humid conditions for too long. Moreover, some individuals report experiencing pine mouth syndrome, a bitter or metallic taste that can linger for days after consuming certain pine nuts. While this isn't typically harmful, it's distressing enough to ruin your appetite for a while. From a nutritional standpoint, pine nuts are neither harmful nor extraordinary. They do contain monounsaturated fats, but they're lower in protein and fiber than almonds or pistachios. If you love the flavor, you can still enjoy pine nuts occasionally. Just store them in your refrigerator or freezer to preserve freshness, and watch out for any brand or source linked to the pine mouth phenomenon. For everyday use, less expensive and more nutritionally dense options typically yield greater benefits for your health and your budget. 4. Chestnuts. The nut that's mostly starch. Chestnuts conjure images of holiday streets and festive gatherings where vendors roast them over open fires. Unlike their counterparts, these nuts are primarily composed of carbohydrates. They offer minimal healthy fat, which is precisely the nutrient that makes most nuts beneficial for satiety and heart health. Their higher glycemic index means that chestnuts can raise blood sugar more quickly, making them less suitable for individuals with diabetes or prediabetes. From a culinary perspective, chestnuts have their charms. They can be pureed into soups or turned into a flour substitute for gluten-free recipes. However, their shelf life can be problematic because they contain more moisture than almonds or walnuts, leading to quicker spoilage. Storing them incorrectly can encourage mold and compromise their flavor and nutrition. For those who love the traditional appeal of roasted chestnuts, a small serving during the holidays is unlikely to derail a balanced diet. Just be aware that chestnuts won't provide the robust protein or healthy fats you might expect from something called a nut. They're more akin to potatoes in terms of nutritional impact, so don't rely on chestnuts to deliver the heart-protective or cognition-boosting perks of tree nuts. If your goal is better overall wellness, keep chestnuts as an occasional treat rather than a mainstay. Recap of problematic nuts. Now that we've identified 4 prime candidates for caution: macadamia, nuts, peanuts, pine nuts, and chestnuts, it's crucial to remember that moderation and context matter. If you're a professional baker crafting a pesto, a tablespoon of pine nuts here or there won't necessarily ruin your health. A single handful of chestnuts roasted over a holiday fire won't catapult your blood sugar into the stratosphere. But if these problematic varieties form the bedrock of your daily snacking, you risk saturating your diet with unnecessary calories, allergenic triggers, or even hidden toxins. Peanuts especially might lurk in your pantry as peanut butter, which people often assume is a healthy spread. Realistically, the majority of mainstream brands are sweetened and stabilized with hydrogenated oils. Over time, that combination of sugar and unhealthy fats can contribute to undesirable shifts in blood lipids. And if the brand is low quality or improperly stored, you could be exposing yourself to mold toxins as well. Similarly, macadamias can sabotage your calorie balance if you devour them absent-mindedly in front of the TV or computer. Understanding these hazards isn't about banning all pleasurable foods. It's about making strategic decisions that fit into your broader health goals. By rotating in nutritionally superior nuts like walnuts or pistachios, you cut down on the possible downsides while still enjoying taste, texture, and variety. If any of these cautionary types stand as cornerstones of your diet, think hard about whether they might be contributing to nagging health issues like creeping weight gain or unpredictable energy levels. Credibility and trust expert quotes. Expert consensus supports the idea that certain nuts hold profound health benefits, while others require a more limited approach. In a statement by the World Health Organization, WHO 2021 Global Nutrition Guidelines, dietary diversity is consistently stressed as a linchpin of successful aging. A varied intake of nutrient-dense foods is key in reducing the global burden of chronic illnesses. Nuts play a role in that variety, but the organization also warns that not all are equal from a nutritional or safety standpoint. Meanwhile, the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health has published multiple studies linking moderate nut consumption to improved lipid profiles and decreased inflammation markers. These investigations repeatedly highlight tree nuts, like almonds and walnuts, underscoring their synergy with a diet rich in vegetables and lean proteins. Macadamias and peanuts are seldom demonized outright, but the emphasis tends to rest on the caution of portion control and potential contaminants. Dr. Michael Greger, noted for his evidence-based approach, reminds us that we must look at the full nutritional context, not just a single component like fats. Eating a variety of nuts emphasizing those high in antioxidants and healthy fats is often beneficial. 2021 from his nutrition-focused presentations. His guidance urges people to keep an eye on how their daily choices stack up overall. In other words, no single nut is the magic bullet, nor is any single nut the absolute villain in every scenario. The line between beneficial and harmful often rests on how much you eat and how frequently. Tuminapton, 7-day checklist to share. Extended plan. Some of you might want a more structured approach than just one day or a casual swap. So here's a deeper 7-day plan you can share with family, friends, or colleagues. Think of it as a mini lifestyle project designed to replace your questionable nut habits with those that have real evidence behind them. 1-day 1, pantry purge. Remove any half-finished bags of macadamia nuts or heavily flavored peanuts from sight. You don't necessarily need to throw them away. Store them in an out-of-reach cupboard for occasional use or cooking in small quantities. 2-day 2, almond highlight. Focus on almonds as your main snack or addition. Try them in your breakfast oatmeal or as a topping for lunch salads. 3-day 3, walnut wisdom. Incorporate walnuts into your evening meal. Perhaps sprinkle them over roasted vegetables or mix them into a quinoa dish. 4-day 4, pistachio party. Enjoy pistachios during snack time. Buy them in the shell if possible and keep track of how many shells accumulate. 5-day 5, Brazil nut precision. Eat just 1 to 2 Brazil nuts in the morning. Note any changes in energy or mood throughout the day. 6-day 6, balanced variety. Rotate through almonds, walnuts, and pistachios. Keep portions to around an ounce for each type. 7-day 7, check and celebrate. Evaluate the entire week. Have you noticed less bloating, more stable energy, or fewer cravings? Now decide which changes you'll adopt long-term. Share this checklist with anyone who might benefit. Sometimes group accountability spurs lasting shifts. Always remember to consult your physician, especially if you have specific health conditions or concerns about allergies. Maintaining vigilance. Why this matters at any age. You might wonder, does it really matter which nuts I eat if I'm already following an overall balanced diet? The short answer: absolutely, small daily habits accumulate over time, and for individuals in their 50s, 60s, or beyond, the margin for error narrows. Age-related changes mean your body can become more sensitive to toxins, excess calories, and nutrient imbalances. What might have been harmless snacking in your 30s could become a trigger for skyrocketing blood pressure or creeping cognitive decline in later decades. Moreover, research suggests that well-chosen nuts may help reduce chronic inflammation, one of the silent culprits behind a range of health problems. Inflammation can accelerate a decline in your immune system, hamper recovery from infections, and exacerbate joint issues. By opting for varieties like almonds, walnuts, or pistachios, known for their anti-inflammatory compounds, you give your body additional tools to fend off these stressors. It's not just about the immediate impact either. If you can lower your daily sugar intake by swapping candy-coated peanuts for raw almonds, you'll likely reduce your overall risk of metabolic syndrome. If you keep your thyroid healthy by adding a moderate dose of selenium from Brazil nuts, you could bolster your long-term energy levels. Small but consistent changes can amount to enormous benefits, sparing you from future worry about conditions that might otherwise escalate. When to consult your physician. The guidance in this script, while rooted in robust science and expert consensus, isn't a substitute for individualized medical advice. If you have a complex medical history, such as severe allergies, autoimmune disorders, or advanced heart disease, you need to consult your physician before making radical dietary shifts. Additionally, if you're on specific medications for blood pressure, thyroid management, or cholesterol, even small changes in your diet can interact with how those drugs work. People with known peanut allergies should avoid peanuts entirely. No matter how benign it may seem, cross-contamination can be a genuine threat. If you suspect you have a tree nut allergy but haven't been formally tested, you might consider an allergist visit before introducing walnuts or almonds, just to be safe. Meanwhile, if you've experienced unusual symptoms, digestive upset, severe headaches, or unusual fatigue shortly after eating certain nuts, it could indicate a sensitivity that warrants professional evaluation. In the end, your physician or a registered dietitian can help you tailor the best approach to your nutritional needs. Nutrient ratios, portion sizes, and safe alternatives all come into play, especially if you're juggling multiple conditions. Sometimes the difference between a beneficial snack and a harmful one comes down to timing, dosage, or preparation methods. Stay proactive about your health by involving the right experts as you make these shifts. Pre-K. Staccato warnings keep the fear alive. Balance with facts. Feel that subtle chest tightness after an indulgent day of salted peanuts. Don't ignore it. Noticing that your scale is creeping upwards after those nightly macadamia binges. Sound the alarm now, not later. Skeptical about how a single Brazil nut might alter your thyroid hormone levels. Doubt can be deadly if it leads to complacency. Yes, these warnings sound dramatic, but so are the stakes. Heart disease remains one of the leading causes of mortality, and unbridled inflammation can degrade your quality of life in ways you won't see coming until it's too late. Even moderate allergic reactions can escalate rapidly, turning a pleasant meal into an emergency room dash. Consider how many times you've neglected a seemingly minor health concern. Multiply that by the silent toll of misguided food choices repeated daily. Pause. Breathe. Understand that these cautionary notes aren't meant to terrify you into never eating nuts again. Instead, they should galvanize you into thoughtful action. The best path forward is seldom about extremes. It's about precision. By now, you have the knowledge 4 nuts deliver meaningful benefits if used wisely, and 4 nuts carry hazards that can overshadow their redeeming qualities. It's up to you to act, to question the status quo, and to share these truths with the people you care about before small oversights morph into full-blown crises. Tachunyan. Conclusion: 3 rapid-fire points, invitation, and final question. Let's wrap this up with a concise summary of the essential takeaways, followed by a parting thought to ignite further conversation. You've just gone through a whirlwind of scientific evidence, cautionary stories, and actionable steps. Now it's time to distill everything into a few crystal clear points you can reference going forward. 1. Four heroes, almonds, walnuts, pistachios, and Brazil nuts each offer powerful nutritional benefits, ranging from heart-friendly fats to brain-boosting omega-3s and thyroid-supporting selenium. Two four hazards, macadamias, peanuts, pine nuts, and chestnuts can pose hidden risks, whether that's excessive calories, allergen dangers, mold toxins, or glycemic spikes. Three, moderation and variety success hinges on rotating your choices, measuring portions, and avoiding the tempting pitfall of mindless munching. If you found these insights valuable, help amplify the message, like, subscribe, and share this script so that more people can protect themselves from easily preventable threats. If you've ever thought a single handful of nuts couldn't possibly matter, think again. It's precisely those small daily habits that shape our future well-being. Now let's fuel the discussion further. Which specific nut-related concerns struck you as most surprising, and how do you plan to address it? Thank you for reading, and don't forget to post your experiences or lingering questions in the comments. Stay safe, stay informed, and always remember, consult your physician whenever you're in doubt. Our actions today can safeguard our tomorrows, one handful at a time.